So, come on in. Yes, happy Wednesday. Hello. My name is Tim Smith. I'm a math teacher at Florin High School. I teach Algebra and AP Statistics, and I'm a 2014 California Teacher of the Year. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Florin High School is an urban/suburban school on the edge of Sacramento city limits. Have a student body of about 1,500. We are a very low-income school, but we've never been low-performing. So our campus is very diverse. I think we have about 19 primary languages here now. And so we have lots of cultures, lots of traditions and religions, and it's a very exciting and wonderful place to teach. Today we're doing sum and differences. Also notice the standards is 9. Today we're going to be able to determine the solution to a system of equations involving the sum.
If you don't get something, he'll sit you down and be like, oh, this is what you're missing, you know? And he doesn't skip a step. And you don't never feel left out, ever. It's all like a big family here.
On the first day of school, I tell my students, for the next 180 days, I'm your teacher. But I'm also like your dad for the next 180 days. I said, I'm only going to see you an hour a day. But I'm going to talk to you that way. I'm going to care for you as if you're all my kids. But I'm also going to have those same expectations. Your homework has to look good. And you have to do your very best in here. How much would you charge for a sheep? Or how much would you pay for a sheep? When's the last time you bought a sheep? Oh, there you go, right there. What's a good number to work with?
Math has always been my weakest subject, and he never made me feel bad about it. Instead, he always made me he always helped me improve. And now I'm actually enjoying math, so it's nice. All thanks to Mr. Smith.
749 divided by 700.
That's correct. Well, you are allowed calculators on this particular class.
Oh,
yeah. I was going to wait.
Go ahead.
Torture you for a little bit. I think as a teacher, to see those students grow every single day, and I call them my kids because they're too old to be children, and students is too informal. And if you ask a lot of them, they say, "Oh, I'm Mr. Smith's kids." I treat them that way, and we have a great relationship, and it's. I don't think there's maybe a word to describe it. That student-teacher relationship doesn't really encompass the way that I can look in their faces and see how they're doing each day, and I can see that they grow, and I see that they're learning, and they want to learn what I have to teach in class, and it's amazingly rewarding. I look forward to coming to school every single day.
Gentlemen, the athlete, Tim Smith.
They put me at the end. It's toughest coming after all 4 of these amazing teachers we've seen before. But good evening, Superintendent Torlakson, honored guests, California Teachers of the Year, finalists, semifinalists, family, friends. It's amazing to see you here tonight. I'd like to begin by thanking my wife and my family for all of their support they've given me this year through the whole Teacher of the Year process. It's quite an ordeal. It's a wonderful ordeal, but it's still an ordeal. I'd also like to acknowledge my colleague and dear friend Robert Brewer, who was a semifinalist for 2012 for the state of California. And Robert, I wouldn't be here without you, and I love you, man. So it's great. I'd also like to acknowledge my district. I'd also like to acknowledge the county. I'd also like to acknowledge Superintendent Torlakson's staff and you for giving me the opportunity to be a voice for California for this year. Thank you very much. But you know, I have a confession. You talked about Common Core. You know, and as state superintendent, you know, I know you want us to do our very best, and as a state teacher of the year, I need to be a hotshot in Common Core. So I'm giving it a try. I want you to know. So just last week, I had my algebra class. We were doing an algebra problem, and it involved comparing hotel rates, room rates. And so I said that which would be better, $70 a night or $90 a night? Should be an easy problem, right? So the class stopped for a second. The young man in the back stands up and goes, "Mr. Smith, $90 a night." I said, "Excuse me? Why?" He goes, "Because you get free Wi-Fi." We got ways to go with this Common Core. On a more serious note, I just came back a couple of weeks ago from the National Teacher of the Year Conference in Arizona. And there I had the opportunity to meet 53 State Teachers of the Year, Territorial Teachers of the Year, some of the most amazing educators I've ever seen in my life. I felt so humbled to be with them. But one of the things that was said day after day after day was that they were not the best teachers in their state. That they were not even the best teachers in their school. And I agree with them. Half the time, I'm not even the best teacher in my classroom. I work at Florin High School, where they're the most dedicated and caring teachers I have ever met in my life. And I've been exposed to quite a bit. And, you know, I know that I would not be here tonight without their support. And one of the things, I have to tell you a little bit about Florin High School, how it's different. We're very poor, but we're called a site-based decision-making school. So that means that it's left up to the staff and the students to make many of the decisions at that school. But what it requires is for us to be on lots of committees, and it requires us to take lots of leadership positions. And sometimes we get a little reluctant to do that because it is very daunting. But the rewards are great. And Mr. Ross, my principal here, he told us not too long ago, he goes, look, if you don't want to make those decisions, I will. And so we step up to the plate. But you know, no matter what I do at Florin High School, I can get there as early as I can in the morning, and there are teachers already there working. And I can stay as late as I can in the evening, and there are still teachers working there. They work morning, noon, and night. They never leave, and it shows at our school. You know, at the National Teacher of the Year Conference, one of the things that we quickly learned, that it's not about me. This 2014 California Teacher of the Year, it's about being a voice. It's about being a voice for those teachers who were there before the sun comes up. It's about being a voice for those teachers who were there after the sun goes down. It's about being a teacher. It's about being a voice for those teachers who spend their evenings grading papers and preparing lessons. And it's about being a voice for those teachers who wake up in the middle of the night trying to resolve a problem with a particular student. And you know what? And when we hear these teachers here, we hear Michael and Linda and Jessica, and we see the effect that they have on their students. And Diogenes said that time is one of the greatest things that a man can spend. And we see the effects of spending time with those students. And I want to tell you a little story of what recently happened to me. The TV crews keep coming into my room, but on one particular occasion, the TV crew had been filming for about an hour. The bell rang and the students started to file out. And they came up to me and they said, Tim, can we speak to one of your students? Can we interview them? And I said, sure. Well, they turned and they saw this young man across the room, and I'll call him Michael. Michael has an IEP. Michael is afraid to talk to other students, and very afraid to talk to adults, particularly. This young ninth grader. And so they started heading towards him, and I made a move to go cut him off. But before I could get there, they were already in Michael's face. The camera was just a few inches away. And so I looked around, and Michael said, Mr. Smith, I'm scared. And that was his exact words. And I said, Michael, you don't have to do this. And he looked at the camera, and then he looked back at me, and his exact words were, Mr. Smith, I'll do this for you. And if that camera had turned on me right then, ladies and gentlemen, they would have seen the tears welling up in my eyes. I couldn't stand it. So I backed across the room, and I got over there, and they started asking Michael questions. And after every question, Michael would look around the camera to see if I was still there, and I'd give him a thumbs up. And tears just rolling down my face. Fortunately, they'd already interviewed me. Otherwise, it would have been a mess after that. But you know what? We are here for the Michaels. If Michael was not afraid to stand up for me, he became his biggest fear for me. And so I stand up here before you for the Michaels. These four teachers that have preceded me, they have been here for the Michaels. Ladies and gentlemen, we are the voice of education for 2014 in California. And I'm very proud to stand among you. I thank you for coming in tonight, and I thank you for the honor of letting me be a Teacher of the Year. Thank you.